A little update on what I've done so far. I have finished framing out the upper cabinets and the V-nose. I have built the cupboards with and then trimmed out with quarter round here at the top and all the way around to close that gap that's there. As you can see, I have more trim that I'm going to finish up on each side, but I am currently building the cupboard doors. I'll have 3 of them, one here on the left of the cupboards, one in the corner, and then one here on this right side. In the middle is going to be the microwave, and so I've created these panels to cover up the electrical that's coming down from the roof, from all the trailer down to my PD 4045 down here. So what I've done is I've just used 3 screws to hold each of these panels in, so then I can take one panel off, put the cord back to the plug that I have back there, put the panel back up, and so then it's enclosed, and then I can put my microwave up there. What I'm currently doing is, so like I said, I'm building cupboard doors that I'm going to put on these 3 spots. Just something I haven't mentioned before about where I placed my PD45, and I put it here up in the V-nose. I created a panel up here on the front. I'm going to trim off the sides once the kitchen counter is installed here underneath the cupboards. But up on the right is my Wanderer solar charge controller. I have a flooded battery on it. That's why the red light is on the right. Once it starts charging, the left green light will blink, and it's dark outside, so it's not charging at the moment. So what I did is I then put a door on a door, because back behind the door I have my fuses that will pull out when I'm not using it or I'm plugged in, so it's not charging and cause possible problems. And I just have my voltage meter with USB and just 12-volt chargers, one on each side, and I inserted those from the back, and those are plugged into my my PD 4045. And each of my branches start with the GFCI on each side, and then they run down the side of each side of the trailer with other outlets. This is going to be the water heater eventually, and so then that's on its own branch, as well as the microwave's on its own branch. It's up there, and then the fridge will eventually be under the counter here on the right, is on its own branch there as well. And as you saw before when I wired, it's all on 12 gauge for 20 amp service, and then my 30 amp plug on the outside runs down there to the floor and then up into the PD 4045. And then my battery is out there on the tongue. That those 2 wires on the right, 2 black ones, come from the solar panel on the roof to this charge controller, out the charge controller, down the floor, out and underneath to the battery on the tongue. The red and the white are the positive and negative from the battery up to the PD45 to charge the DC side, or power the DC side of the charge PD45. I also installed these puck lights. I'm going to turn off the light here and let the camera adjust to the light there, and it's on that switch. I installed 4 of them, and I made these little puck insets so that they could set in on it, and then I mounted them and wired it underneath, and came off of the switch down there, up and through, and then they go up around underneath. And so we just used a 2-inch bit to drill out the middle, and then cut around the outside of the squares to make them round, and then I screwed them in. I'm pretty pleased with how they came out. They look, my wiring, it's the first time I've wired underneath there, and see how did the best I could. It may not look the best, but I'm pretty happy with how sturdy it is. I'll show you an update once I have the cupboard doors up. I'm going to use the European hidden hinge style, and yeah, thanks for watching.